Yeah.
Yeah, very confusing. I don't know why they say go live, but then you have to hit play on Facebook. That to me is weird. You'd think it'd just be streaming from there. But I'm Joe Glines from The-automator, and I was talking to Jean. I was actually what happened. I was getting all these emails of Black Friday deals, and I have one. On Udemy, there's a Black Friday deal right now as well. So if you're interested in learning courses, not just mine but anybody's, right? It's a great time to save money. And I reached out to Jean. I'm like, Quick Access Pop-up is an amazing tool. Is there any way to create some sort of a Black Friday deal for people to save money on getting QAP? Because I love it and it's just a great time saver. Jean, and then so Jean agreed to something here. So let's see, Jean, what have you cooked up for us?
Yeah, I'm just saying hello to people on the chat. So if you want to chat, we are there. Hello, Joe. Thank you for this invitation and for this good idea that you had about the Black Friday. Did you had a nice Thanksgiving day yesterday?
Yeah, it was good. I ate food and passed out and slept for like 2 hours after. It was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. So here in Canada, Thanksgiving was in October, so it's something long we had some time ago, and I'm happy to have this opportunity to talk about Quick Access Pop-up and this Black Friday offer that you suggested. Excuse my English, as usual. I'm doing my best. I'm from Montreal, the French part of Canada.
Yeah, your English is great.
Yeah. So you know Quick Access Pop-up. Maybe some of your subscribers know it too. For those who don't, we can take a few minutes after having talked about the deal to demonstrate it. But Quick Access Pop-up, it was a freeware, but at some point there were so many users that were sending me donation and recurring donation, so that I decided to make it a paid product so that it gives me a better income to better support and develop and continue to develop this application. And so it's now sold. You can get regularly a lifetime license for $40 for 2 installations. So you can run it on your desktop and on your portable computer. You can buy bigger license if you have bigger needs for more installations. But what I decided to do, Joe, is to offer a 50% discount for your subscribers, and I will also share it with my own subscribers on my Facebook, on the Quick Access Pop-up Facebook page. So there's a discount code that you can use to get this discount. So that the basic license will cost $20, $19.99 for a lifetime license. So it will include every future upgrades that will be done on Quick Access Pop-up. And I'm quite committed to continue to update it, because there are always good ideas coming from the users on the forum or by email. So that gives me ideas on how to make the app more efficient, making you more efficient. Sometimes very small tweaks that will just make things going faster, and some bigger ideas that will take a little more time to develop, but that will come over the next month or years. So how would you like to proceed? I can show you the code maybe and the link to get this code.
Yeah, let's go. But before we do, the other thing I wanted to point out, because I know we talked about this, there is a free version, but it doesn't have all of the capability set, right?
Yeah.
In that,
yeah.
When you're actually paying for the full version, not only do you get, and correct me if I'm wrong, you get with the $19.99, you get 2 licenses,
2 installations,
right?
one license for 2 installations.
Sorry, yeah. Thank you. Thanks for clarifying. So for that, for less than $20, you get 2 versions for a lifetime of the full version of QAP with all the functionality. So that's
and all the future developments.
Yes,
the free edition has some limitation that you will never get when you get the full license, of course.
It's funny. Boy, it's tempting to even do this for like a Christmas present to somebody, honestly, right? Because you know me, I love sharing AUTOHOTKEY, and getting people to start coding. That's a big ask. It's tough. Getting them to start using QAP and just save time, honestly, like I could see people, if they had it, and hadn't stopped, like they would start using it, right? Which is my big, it's a big thing about QAP is it's, you don't have to be a programmer, right? It's so easy to start using, and
Yeah.
everybody can use it.
And even for your audience that is more techy than the regular audience, I assume that the Automator's subscribers use AutoHotkey or are interested in automating their work. But even for them, a quick access pop-up can be a great way to organize your content, to organize your scripts, to organize your snippets, your code snippets. When you have to code something, you want to make it shorter. If you know AutoHotkey, you know that there are hot strings there that can auto-replace things. But in quick access pop-up, this has been taken further with a better interface, easier interface to manage your things. And you can start a snippet or a text snippet from a hot string. But if you don't remember the hot string, there's a menu there. So you will find it using the menu. You can also make short keys easily. So that's a very versatile, is it pronounced correctly? Versatile tool on how to organize your content, even if you are yourself quite well organized and technically savvy.
Let me chime in on 2 points there real quickly, because one, case in point earlier, you said how QAP is always getting updated set, and a perfect example of this was hot strings, right? Hot strings weren't incorporated until I was like talking. I'm like, you understand, like I use these all the time. It'd be really helpful. And then you brought them in. You made them where they were available.
This was a big request.
yeah. It was like, wow, that's awesome. The second one though, and it's a little more complex to try to explain. But I have a side business where we work in real estate, and we use a lot of different things, different programs and different tools organized in different places on our computer. And I hadn't built the stuff into QAP to launch it. And then when I started, I realized, and that's where you kind of got earlier, right? No matter where your files are, you can use QAP as a way to organize things in the way you think. And don't worry that this file is on that network drive and this file is over here and whatever, right? You organize it how you think. And it was my partner, I set it up for both of us, and he was like, oh my God, this is so much easier, because it's intuitive to how you think, right? You put the stuff where you want and you group them by things, and it was just night and day.
And when you have collaborators, people you work with, you can also use shared menus. So part of your menu can be shared with other users using any cloud drive or network drive if you're working inside a company having a network servers. But if not, you use Dropbox or any cloud drive server, and you can share part of your menu. And that's there are many good ways to use it and being more efficient.
Yeah. So why don't we go ahead? Why don't you show us the discount, and then after we're done with that, we'll come over and actually start showing QAP and do some demo, and then
So I'll share just an image that will show you the where is it? It's here. So do you see the code here? In fact, not the code, but the link. So the link is on using your domain, which is the-automator.com. So you enter www.d/automator.com/QAPBF. So QAP for Quick Access Pop-up, BF for Black Friday. And it will take you to a page where you will see the discount code. So let me take you to this page. And I'll put the link on the chat here. There we go. So you have it on the Facebook Live chat, and I'll now share my browser or my old screen here. And here, if we enter the link here, you see it takes you to the Quick Access Pop-up Shop website, where you see the code here. So the code is Black Friday 2020, and it will give you a 50% discount code. So regardless of the number of installation you choose, you will get half.
Oh, great point.
The price being, you will pay just half the price. So I made a small screen capture here, but I'll show you it live just on the way to enter the discount code, because it's not some people missed it. So so you click here, continue. it will take you to the page that describes the product and the various options you have here for the number of installation. So the basic one is for 2 installation. You could go up to 100 installation if you are working in a large corporate environment. And so let's say we use 2 here. So you click check and download. It will take you to the checkout page, where you will select if you want to pay using your credit card or using PayPal. But before that, here at the top, there's this link here that I will just highlight. You see here, it says click enter to click to enter it. So have your discount code, you click here, and then you can enter the code that you've seen in the previous page, Black Friday 2020, and you click apply, and then the price. So, and I'll just show it to you. I didn't copy the code. I'll just go back to copy, make it on my clipboard just to make sure I have it correctly. Check out and download. And when you paste it, you see some French on my my menu. I'm using with Windows in French. So when you apply it, the $39 will be discounted here, and you see here that the price is now $19.99 for these 2 installation. You enter your credit card and PayPal information, and you will on the next page after the processing of your payment, you will see the download links and your license code, and you will receive this information also by email, and also with username and password to manage your license. So if you want to change the installations or remove installations, replace them, so you have all the tools to manage your installation, your license. So that's the way to get this, to benefit from this this offer.
Excellent. So why don't we go ahead now, for those who haven't actually played with QAP, we probably should have started with it if they're completely new, right? Like, we know the value, and a lot of the people that are in this Facebook group and whatever, they've seen and used QAP. But let's go ahead and demo some of the cool features that you've built into it.
Yeah. Okay. Let me share my screen again, and I'll open this Windows Explorer window. So when you launch Quick Access Popup, it will create an icon here in your taskbar, this icon here, that you can click if you wish to open the menu, but there's an easier way more convenient way to use it. So what you can do is anywhere on your screen, you hit the middle mouse button. So I'll show you on the screen, on the camera here, I mean this button here, you see it on my mouse. And this button, usually we use it to scroll, but we never use it to click on this button. And most mouse will support the fact that when you middle click this button, when you click the middle button of your mouse, it will trigger an action, and the action in Quick Access Popup is to open this menu here, where you have a list of default links or favorites that I put there for you when you first launch Quick Access Popup, but that you can edit to make it work for you. So when you go in the customize window here, you see the links that are there. You could take links and just decide that you want to move them, you could remove them. Let's say that I don't need the Notepad link, I could hit remove, it will be removed from the window. And when you click save or save and close, it will save the favorites and change the menu that you selected. So I will just cancel for now. I want to keep my Notepad example for you. So when I middle click here, I could click Notepad and it will launch Notepad, as you could expect. If you want to change folder, and at the very beginning of Quick Access Popup, it was called Folders Popup because it was used at first to change the folders you are working with. So if I am in this folder here and I click Windows, it will change my window here to the folder I selected. So it navigates inside your window here. So it takes you in one click somewhere that you could have taken many clicks to get to it. So I will return to my demo folder here. If I click on anywhere, so if I click inside the Explorer window, it will change the folder. But if I click elsewhere, let's say that I'm here in my browser and I click this window here, I will go to the program files here. It will open a new Explorer. So I have this Explorer window and the other one that I had before. So if I click inside an existing window, it will change to the folder I selected, and if not, it will create a new Explorer. This also works with the dialog box, and that's where you will find the biggest benefits and time saving. You know, when you open a folder inside Notepad, so it's bloc-notes in French, it means that's the French name for Notepad. When you hit Save As, I would say 90% of the time you're not at the place where you would like to be, and you have to navigate. And to do that, you hit the up navigation, you browse, you have a lot of clicks to do. But with Quick Access Pop-up, you can select here. Oh, I just need to do one thing here. You have to enable the fact that you want to change folders inside dialog box. There's some information about this here, so we save it. And now I'll return to my dialog box, save as here in French, and I select that I want to save it in this folder here, so it takes me to this folder, and I can now save my file, which was empty. I'll just put something in it. And now this file has been saved here. And if I want to do open now, let's say that I'm in Notepad.
But just to be clear, basically any program, you know, any dialog box.
Any file dialog box. So I could be in Word.
Mm-hmm.
I can start Word here and say that I want to open a file here. And here I select that I want to go to the QAP demo. I am in this folder, and I could select the text file that I just created with Notepad before. So it works in the file open, file save, dialog boxes in, I would say, most applications. Every application that follow the rules regarding file dialog box. Some application will add special features in their file management dialog box, and that will break these dialog box compared to what would be the standard way of doing dialog box. So in some case, it may not work, but it's more than 98%, I would say, that where it will work. So that we've seen the folders links, we've seen application favorites, folders, application. There's
John,
also web links and many other things.
Let me chime in here real quickly though, because for those of you, and maybe you're already excited about it, that work at a company where you have a network drive, and of course, when a network drive, generally speaking, you have multiple people accessing it, so you can't organize it the way you want to organize it, right? And that's and there's like, you know, often when I was doing it in, you know, corporate America, they'd be like 20 levels deep, like, you know, you'd have to navigate to, and it was just such a pain. And that's what you're like, holy cow, right? I can, you know, put those right in this, and basically, you know, 2 clicks away. Or build a hotkey to it, which you didn't demonstrate. You could actually have a hotkey to navigate to that folder for you right there. Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, because that one to me is when I saw that when you do that the first time, I was like, oh man, wow, that is such a time saver.
So an example of hotkey here is I have a link to the Quick Access Pop-up website where you could click Shift Control Q. That's built in. That's an example that is in the default. So you won't see it, but I click it, Shift Control Q, and it was on my other window, but I'll just get it here. Come on. There we go. So it opened the link in just by hitting a key. So as you could do with, again, with AUTOHOTKEY, as we said earlier, but now it's much easier to program that. So let's say how we can add a shortcut to the Notepad file, the Notepad favorite here. So if I open it, go inside Notepad, In this window, you will edit the title of the favorite, the destination, so the executable file for an application. And under menu options, you could change the icons if you wish, but what we'll do is we'll go in shortcuts and select that if I hit Shift Control N, and there's a lot of options. You could say that is different if you hit the left shift or the right shift on your keyboard, but let's keep it simple. Shift Control N, okay, okay, save. And now if I hit Shift Control N, it starts my Notepad application. So it's that easy to do that. You could also use hot string triggers. This is more often of use with text snippets, but a hot string could also be used to launch an application if you find a good use for that. But usually in a text snippet like this one here, so you have this text that will be typed automatically when I enter this trigger here. In my example, I'm using how is it called in English? The number sign.
Oh, the pound
Maybe
sign.
pound sign, yeah. That's something I'm using for this example here. So when you hit this, and let's say I will reopen the Notepad file here. So if I hit, automatically it will be replaced by the long text that is included in my snippet. So it's, if for those who know hot strings and text replacement in AUTOHOTKEY, it's using the same features but making it available using an easier interface, easier user interface. So it makes it also easy to use for those who would not know the AUTOHOTKEY tools. So that there's a much more we could look at. There are other videos on the Quick Access Pop-up website. We've done in the past, Joe, demonstration, you and me, of many of these features. So maybe you could take a look at that. Some of these has been done a year ago, so they do not necessarily cover all the improvements that have been put in Quick Access Pop-up. But for the basic operations, you will find a lot of good tips there.
Yeah, it's an amazing tool. You know, I don't know if you mentioned it, John, but for those using, what is it, Window Commander and another one.
There's Directory Opus. So for those who use extended file managers, there's Directory Opus and Total Commander that are fully supported. And there's a lot of other file managers also that you can set up. You will have to tell to Quick Access Pop-up where it is installed. So there's a little setup to do. But for Directory Opus or Total Commander, Quick Access Pop-up will detect itself if you have them installed on your computer, and will allow you to change folder inside these file managers.
Cool. And then we, you know, I don't know if we need to do a demo of it, but that whole having a shared menu that you can share with other people, that is really awesome, right? And that you can dictate whether the modes of it, I guess I would say, right?
Yeah,
like
without doing a full demo, I could just show the type of shared menu. So if I click Add here, you see all the type of favorites that you can have. We've seen most of them. You can explore that. And there's one that is called Shared Menu. And here you give a name to your shared menu. You set the location of this menu. So the location could be on a Dropbox folder, for example, or a network folder. And here in the shared menu tab, you will set which kind of shared menu it is. Is it a personal share menu? So you would use it yourself to share some favorites on your desktop and on your portable computer. So you find your content that is usable on both platforms. For example, links will work everywhere. So that's one way to use it. The other way is collaborative, where you will use the same menu with other users. And using this, there will be file synchronization and synchronization collision detection. So if the same favorite is modified on two computers by two different users, Quick Access Popup will manage that and alert you if there are issues with that. And the third one is centralized, where it would be used in a more corporate environment where you want to set a list of favorites, for example, for some network resources on your intranet, for example, that you can make available to everybody. But the management of this menu will be restricted to only given users that you can enter here. So someone can update something for all others. So people making so reference content for different users in their company or in their department or in their team. So that's a third way to use these shared menus.
Which just triggered a memory for me also, because I just don't work this way anymore. I don't need it. I don't use it. But the live menu kind of preview thing is a great one.
Yeah. Let me use this example here. You see the content here. So this folder here, the link for this folder, let's say that I move somewhere else, I'll move here. So if I click QAP demo here, it will take me to this folder. But if I want to go in a deeper level here, what I can also do is to edit this menu, this favorite, to make it a live folder. I enable that. I'll say that it will open 2 levels down in this folder. It could be more, and I will also include documents in this menu, and I will save it. And now when I open the menu, it will not show only a link, a way to go to the, it will also show all the content of this folder. So
in
I can
essence,
go,
you're bringing that
directly to this subfolder here. Let's say I go to project, my pet project. It will take me directly to this folder here.
Yeah, in essence, you're bringing that folder into QAP, so to speak, right? So it's a live.
Yeah, and it's updated regularly, not totally live, but frequently. Making it totally live would be too requiring too intensive, yes, but it's refreshed frequently. Yeah. There's also another thing that you can like is these frequent folders and recent folders, so you can go back to something you opened recently very easily. By default, there are 10 of them here. You could raise that if you wish. You can also see the recent files that were open and the frequent and files and folders. So there's a database behind Quick Access Popup that will record what you use. And if you want to retrieve something that you use frequently, you go in these folders here. The menu is not full here because it's a new installation, but after a few days of work, this menu will getting more and more accurate with the content you use frequently. And current windows here will show what are the windows that are currently open. So you can use this menu if you want to switch to another application. Let's say I want to switch to my Chrome browser here, or I want to switch to my checkout page. No, I was already there. So you see, that's an alternative way. So of course, you can be used to use Alt Tab or other ways to switch folder, to switch windows, but it's an additional way. And you could put a shortcut for this menu here. So let's say that, let's do it quickly here. So in the works, current windows, I'll say that I want to use a shortcut that would be, for example, my special button here that I have on the left of my mouse, okay?
That's actually the one I use for bringing up QAP.
So if I click this button, I'll just let time to save the menu. And if I hit this button here, it will show directly the current Windows menu. So for any menu or submenus in your QAP menu, you can assign hotkeys to open just this section of your menu to get a quicker access to the content of this menu. There's so much more we could look at,
Yeah.
Joe.
The other thing which you didn't mention is it's what, available in 9 languages? 10?
10 languages, yes, with English, yes. I have very helpful translators around the world that are translating and keeping the translation update up to date. Not for all of them, unfortunately, but yes, it's available. I can show you under the options where you can select the language. So
Wow.
Portuguese, Dutch, German, Italian, etc. Yeah,
that's awesome. So incidentally, Isaiah is my employee here at the Automator. We were discussing some stuff that our new projects to work on, and I was showing him my API syntax writer and my AUTOHOTKEY web scraping syntax writer. And it looks a lot like QAP in the sense it's menus, right? And you push in snippets basically of code. And so I'm showing him like, yeah, well, we could add this here and here. And he goes, yeah, well, these are all built in QAP, right? And I'm like, oh no, I did these way before I knew about QAP. And he was like, oh, and he realized like it's so much work to manually create those menus. And that's what I had done. And that's why I haven't changed them, because I'm like, well, I've created them and I'm just not going to migrate them over. But when you're doing this without QAP, holy cow, it's not only is it a lot of work, but it's confusing work, and how the menus are structured, and you got to nest them in a certain order, and then adding icons, and then I don't even have hotkeys and hot strings to pull them up, right? It's just the menus, but it really is. When I told you when my friend Dr. Cook was here, I showed him that. And like for the rest of the day, he wouldn't even talk to me. He just spent all day converting his stuff into using it, because it's just a game changer, right? And it's this one of the things I love about AUTOHOTKEY. It changes your life, right, for the better in so many ways. And this, now granted, again, you don't have to be an AUTOHOTKEY programmer to use this tool, because I was one of the first. I know when we were doing the snippets, I was putting in snippets and I was having some errors. And you're like, yeah, well, no one really in AUTOHOTKEY uses this tool, right? They're and I'm like, that's nuts to me. But most programmers alone, right? I know that's not the main focus of, I think, who uses it. But if you're a programmer, or if you work in corporate America and you have a lot of, text that you frequently use, and of course, navigating the folders, it's between those two things, it's just crazy to not have a tool like this.
And from the testimony I receive, I know that is a quite addictive tool. So if you don't have it, you miss it, because it's something that you use hundreds of times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and just to be a little cautious, it's kind of funny, because when I go to a different computer and someone says, well, where is this located? I'm like, I have no idea now, because I've grouped the menus into what makes sense to me. And then I have to have like QAP to go, oh, that's where it is, right? And then even the names of the things, right? You name them what makes sense to you, not what they are. And so that's the only thing you really have to worry about, is like, if you go away from it, or you go to someone else's computer or whatever, suddenly you're like, oh yeah, what was life like before QAP, right? It's a game changer, but it really is, right? And this is the great thing of getting a 50% off a lifetime version, is you don't have to worry about that. So why don't you throw up the image with the discount one more time, and I know it's in the chat here, so if anyone's seeing it. Oh, you know what we didn't do? I don't think you mentioned how long the code's good for.
Oh, it ends with, it's a Black Friday code, so it's there for today. It's really special for you today. May extend it a little bit for those who, with all the time zone, it will. Right. We can extend it a bit, but yes, take this opportunity today. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you, Jean, again
Joe,
for creating the tool. Right, it is, like I said, I absolutely love it. I use it all the time, and I tell as many people as I can about it. But yeah, and the discount's great. Get more people using it. It is addictive. That's the thing, is once you start using it, you realize this is such a game changer.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Joe, for this opportunity.
Awesome.
And for this good idea.
Yeah. Well, I hope people take it up, and sign up and start using it today. All right, John.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
Great talking to you. Yeah, now I just got to figure out how to stop live streaming.